Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jason and Laura Richardson here with Rowe Real Estate again. We are super excited today for another episode of Spotlight of our local area leaders. Today, we have not only a good friend, but an awesome wife, mom, W-2 job, entrepreneur, all-around connector. Maria Lechner is here with CITI Collective. So we're going to give her some time on here to talk about what she does in her business. Essentially, it's modern bags for the modern woman. So we're going to get into that part. A lot of awesome pictures and social media to connect you to as we go through this. So Maria, welcome. Thank you for coming on and talking with us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity, first of all, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, awesome. So let's dig into, tell us a little bit about yourself, family-wise, before we dig into the background of your business.
Sure. Yeah. So I am a mom of two boys. They're 6 and 4, so pretty crazy. Typical boys, always running around, getting into something. And then I also have my husband, Todd, and both of us are very active with the boys as well as in our CrossFit communities. And so I know that's where we have met you all, and I'm so happy we've had the chance to connect through that. So yeah, it's really the boys, fitness, and then really fulfilling, which we'll get into, kind of our entrepreneurial side is really what drives us and is really our passions.
Yeah, for sure. And you're outnumbered boy-wise in your house. Todd is awesome, your husband. You know, we get along really well, and your boys go to school with our boys. So we've really gotten to know you all as a family and just the integrity and foundation that you've built your business on, and as well as that you guys put out as a family. So we're really super excited to kind of dig in and let people know about your business a little bit more. So let's dig into CITI Collective. Let's tell us, how did you get started with it? How long have you been in business? Where did the idea come from? Just a little bit on that part.
So as you kind of alluded in the beginning, I still actually have a W-2 or a day job or a 9 to 5 or a corporate job, whatever you want to say. And so I'm kind of balancing all of that, which we can talk about a little bit later. But as part of that, when I was pregnant, I was working a lot, and I was taking time to really go out there and find the right baby gear. And as a first-time mom, we really overanalyze every little thing. And for me, the struggle with the diaper bag was the fact that you don't buy 10 diaper bags like you do, baby onesies. And I just couldn't find everything I wanted in a diaper bag. They were a lot of kind of baby patterns on bags, and wasn't my style. I had not become a mom, and I didn't want to lose my style when I became a mom. I was trying to hold on to something. And so I decided, why don't I just go ahead and design my own diaper bag? And I talked to Todd and I said, what would you like in a diaper bag too? Because if we're going to buy one of something, I want it to be high quality. I want to buy once, and I want both of us to use it. And then I thought about, well, what do I want to use it for after? So how can I incorporate functionality, things that help me with my travels? Because we both travel a lot for work, but it's also important to us to travel on a personal level. So if I want to use the bag for travel, what would be important to put in the bag? And it all came together, and I designed my first diaper bag about, it's going in 6 years ago at this point. And that was our City Traveler. And then a spinoff of that was our City Explorer.
Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt real quick. So that right there, what I want people to hear on that part is, like, Maria was a new mom, about to be, soon to be. She found an unfit need for herself on that part, took action, and actually made a product that fit what she was looking for that wasn't out there already, which is, you're a problem solver, which is how you essentially grew your business from day one right there. So that's an awesome piece of that. Yep. Thanks for sharing that part.
Yeah, no, I think I'm glad you called it out, because I think it's a really important part. You'll hear a lot of entrepreneurs share their secrets to building businesses, and a lot of them share them freely, and they'll always want to help you. And I think a lot of them do it full well knowing if they even share some trade secrets, somebody actually has to take action on those. And that's, as we all know, is the hardest thing to really do in life in general. Whether you're trying to work out for the first time or you're just trying to create a new habit, you actually have to take the first step. And so, at some point you kind of just get frustrated with something in your life and you want to move forward. And that's really what it came to with the diaper bags. And I'm glad we took that first step, because it kind of just rolled from there.
Yeah, so you started with a diaper bag, and tell us where you're at now. What does your line consist of?
Yeah. So right now our line has expanded into handbags and professional bags as well. I will say though, being really transparent with everything that's going on in the world today, I've really been drawn back in to focus on our diaper bags the most, because I really feel like the people that are stressed at this time include those people who are pregnant. Laura, I know you and I've talked personally about your pregnancy, and you're such a confident and strong person. And I know a lot of women are, but there also are a lot of women who are struggling with a lot of anxiety. So I'm connecting more with our diaper bags at this point, and they also are where we started, because I feel like we're really able to help women through this time. And that's really where we've been focusing over the past couple of weeks.
Well, I mean, then that again just shows like where your passion lies within the business. You found where not only like you have other product lines that you're offering, but you know that you're truly helping that one segment and targeted audience that you're looking at, and you found that part very valuable that you're giving back to them. So super cool for that part as well.
Yeah, and I just kind of want to call out anybody who is thinking about building a business or even in one. That's one of the things I'm learning, is you have to remain flexible while also staying true to your passions. So at the end of the day, for me, I think one of the reasons I never started a business earlier was the fear of failure, right?
Absolutely.
But now I'm learning, if I introduce something like handbags or professional bags, but my interest in the market even is drawing me back to only focus on diaper bags, then that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I'll flow with that.
That's called failing forward. You're learning from everything on there. And there's
I like that.
Nothing wrong with that. And that's awesome that you can actually realize that when you look at it, because we all should learn to fail forward on everything we do.
Yep. It took me failing a lot to be okay with it, but I'm glad I have. I've always learned, to your point, always going forward.
So getting a little bit deeper in with the diaper bags, talk to us a little bit about your process in either reaching out to other moms or having kind of like a pool of people to get some feedback from, because I know that's a huge part of coming up with your product and then tweaking from there. Because I know you mentioned first-time moms. Sometimes when we're in that stage, we're putting everything on our registry because we have no idea what we're going to need, and oftentimes are focusing on things that are not practical. So how did you decide what is going to be the most valuable as far as like assets in your bag for a mom?
Yeah, I think there's a whole lot to that question, actually. The first thing is that I definitely crowdsource when it comes to ideas, not just design ideas and fabrics and colors, but also what are you using the bag for? The thing is, I find when I ask people certain questions, such as, what is in your diaper bag? I have to make sure I phrase them correctly. I can't say, what do you want in a diaper bag? Because a lot of people aren't thinking that way, or they don't know, right? So that's my problem to solve. So I have to phrase things like, what's in your diaper bag today? What aren't you able to carry in your diaper bag that you want to carry? And then I also have to find specific parents, like yourself, who have 2 children and they have a young one on the way. What have you learned from the first 2 that you don't put in the diaper bag anymore? And how has your current or your prior diaper bag transitioned with you? So what do you kind of look for in a diaper bag with 1 kid versus 3 kids? So these are just scratching the surface of kind of the psychological fun that I get to have with the questions I get to ask. And then ultimately, when I kind of have narrowed down where I'm going, if I really can't decide between 2 designs or even 3 designs and the functionality in them, then I do really just do a survey. And I also reach out obviously to people in my local community. I've built a lot of relationships with different business owners here, so I get their perspective from a business side, but also all my friends, all my family. And then of course we leverage our social media following too, because they're a big part of our growth and where we are going.
Absolutely. So let's dig into I'm going to ask another question about how you got started again. Everybody that wants either to start a business or become an entrepreneur, they get nervous or they don't know where to start. And it's taking that initial action in order to start. Did you have a mentor? Did you do a lot of education on your own? Like how did you get those questions answered for you?
My first mentor was Google. So
awesome, yeah.
I mean, pretty awesome for the most part, but only gets you so far. I would definitely say that's that's a huge key. So for me, looking back, if I wish I would have taken some time to find a mentor. And I think that for me, at least when I started, a mentor meant I need to find somebody has a successful multi-million-dollar business and can tell me all the right things to do. And in reality, I didn't. I needed somebody who was one step ahead of me. So did they set up a website? Did they set up, a back-end e-com system like Shopify? What are they doing for marketing? And it's not that I didn't want to do that. It's just I didn't know how to find that person. And now that I've found those people, I can tell you the best thing to do is to talk to your local business owners, is to find Facebook groups. There you can search e-com business leaders in Facebook, and a bunch of groups will come up. You need to also reach out to brands in your category. So for example, when I started getting into Instagram and posting, I noticed other baby brands were liking our posts. So I eventually just said, I'm going to reach out and ask them, what are you doing? You're a baby brand. You're not a competing product. So let's talk, let's strategize. And that opened up just a trickle down effect of connections. So now I have what we call Circle of Trust networking group, and it's 7 women. We all have baby brands, and we share anything and everything in that group, from financials to marketing to how to deal with a complicated customer. It runs the gamut, and I'm really happy that I have that group because they've also exposed me to additional resources.
Yeah, I really hope people listen and get to this point of it that are thinking about doing something like this, because you just unlocked probably a 5-year process for them that they could get done in a couple of months just right there. So that was extremely valuable information for anybody looking at that. And you just laid it out to them from what you learned and what others are telling you to do as well. And all it takes is actually doing that part, and that's some really good information.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
So talk to us a little bit about the balancing act of being a full-time mom and being a full-time entrepreneur, because I can only imagine having to juggle both of those and what that looks like on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. So I'll answer that twofold. I think balance means something different to everybody. Before having kids, I was very type A, very controlling, and I had to learn that I can't control everything. And then after having kids, that obviously just kind of naturally started happening. And I ultimately realized I just am a person that has goals daily. And when I don't achieve those daily goals, that's when I get either frustrated or I get disappointed or discouraged. And so I eventually had to realize that I can do anything, but I can't do everything at once. And something I'm having to repeat to myself consistently at this time, trying to add being a teacher into my daily schedule. So balance to me just means that overall, kind of as a inner feeling, overall, I feel like for the most part, my children are getting enough time with me, that I'm dedicating enough time to the business and my husband and working out. Those are kind of my priorities if I kind of group them at a high level. And so when I see that I'm off track on one, which is always happening, by the way, I just kind of reset myself. And I have learned when it comes to balancing things, and I think this goes for anybody, regardless if they have a side business or not, is I've just learned to ask for help. I have learned to ask for help from my husband, to be very specific, that I need to get XYZ done and I need him to step in and get the boys outside. And I am also very specific about, I don't want you to let them play on the iPad for an hour. I want you to go outside with them and connect with them, or whatever it may be. And that's been super helpful. So to me, balance is ever changing and evolving. And it's also about, kind of answer this the different way, a more tactical way, is that I've eliminated things that don't have a ton of value to me or are sucking time from me. So I don't watch TV. That has changed a little bit over this whole COVID.
Right, yeah.
And guess what? The first thing I watched when I came back was Tiger King. So that was my entryway back into TV. And I realized Yeah, I've
way
been
the
missing
society does
We're not big. We don't waste our time with TV, and that was the first thing we watched.
Exactly, so I think I had a good re-emerging into TV. That's a pretty good choice. But so yeah, I removed TV. I don't really scroll a ton on social media. I might post and share family photos because my family's on those channels and like to see them. So yeah, it's eliminating those kind of things, and then having not a schedule. I realized if I try to do an exact schedule, it's not really helpful, but a routine. So I know where in the morning I'm spending my time with my boys and my family. First half of the day, I need to get XYZ done somehow there, second half, and then the evening as well. But yeah, I'm sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, but to kind of finish the whole thing is that, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm up early and I go to bed late. And that's not every single night. Obviously I wear down, but it's a lot of time commitment and going to bed at midnight or 1 sometimes just because I need to get something done.
Yeah, I mean, and those early morning hours are super powerful for people that have families and they're running businesses and everything as well. And you saying that you have almost a to-do list every day, which is what we need to keep this in order. But at the same time, I heard you talk through all that. I think something important to point out of that is like, if you don't get everything checked off, or if you go off, you have to have a little bit of grace, and we have families, and that part goes with it. So don't beat ourselves up over it every day if it doesn't go exactly as planned. Have a little bit of grace, and that makes the next day even better on that part. So that was more good information for sure on that part. One thing that we are doing right now through this whole pandemic, unfortunately that we're going through, is we know that local businesses are being impacted, immensely right now. So have you seen any type of impact on that? Is there anything that, that we can do as a community to support you during this time?
Yeah. I honestly think that for us, we are in a very good position. We're providing something that's required and really necessary to the day-to-day life of parents. And so while we have seen people be more discerning with the money they're spending, especially because our diaper bags are at a mid-price range because they are meant to last forever and transition, people are thinking about that. And so we've been blessed enough to kind of focus our attention on helping our local community, knowing that we'll kind of pull out of this. So one of the things that we are doing is actually donating some of our handbags to local businesses so they can auction them off, or they can use them as part of prize giveaways. So if you buy a gift card from them, you'll be entered to win one of these. And so it's kind of interesting that I'm an e-com business. I don't have a physical store here in Wake Forest, but I still network with a lot of these retailers here, and they're a big part of my heart because they've helped me out and they've talked through certain things with me. I also, as part of all of this, the other ways that people have helped my business out is just by interacting with us on social media, tagging people that they know are pregnant. So I would say that's the biggest thing for us, is just really word of mouth and spreading awareness. We also have had a lot of engagement from our local community on our $35 diaper bag sale. So we're pretty much giving diaper bags away, and then the $35 just covers shipping and handling and the warehouse fees that are part of that. So we're getting a lot of people engaging with that too, then that helps us.
That's awesome. So something clearly like a referral for somebody that's pregnant to come to you and purchase a bag is like probably the number one compliment. Or how about recommendations or a review for people who have actually had your product and stuff? Would that help you in a time like this as well?
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah, I think my mindset is so focused on helping other people right now. I kind of forget how important reviews are. We do have a review feature on our website, and we, and this is actually a good business tip too. The first time you start your website, start having a review app, because I wish we would have done this, 2.5 years ago when we really became an official business, because our reviews would be in the thousands at this point. So yes, getting those reviews on our site are so important. So it doesn't matter if you purchased through Amazon or QVC or HSN or Bye Bye Baby, you can still come to our website and leave a review. about the bag that you have. And those reviews are helpful not only for our business, but it is super helpful for, again, as we go back talking about the first time mom overanalyzing everything. Sometimes those reviews are really all she needs to read, and there's something in them, relatable experience that she really can hold on to. So they're very helpful for the actual customers too.
Yeah, and you just mentioned some of the companies that you're working with directly on that part, some of the larger ones. You are a local here to Wake Forest working in the e-commerce business, but tell us about some of those larger companies that you're actually in.
Yeah, so we kind of, as a business strategy, started out thinking, let's just focus on e-com. Let's just, really, that should be our main focus. And so and I'll kind of take a step back. So the first diaper bag we designed was 6 years ago, and I didn't even intend for this to really become a full business. So we originally started on Amazon and just really behind the scenes as a no-name brand. Then I decided, yeah, we got to grow this into a business, right? I have to, have an outlet for this passion. I realized it as a passion. So that's when we developed CITI Collective. And then our focus was just e-com. And then finally I said, you know what, I got contacted by a couple of people in the retail industry, and I said, okay, it's time to have focus and strategy on that. And I want to be clear that those are all different strategies.
Yeah.
No name brand on Amazon is one, fully e-com's one, retail's one, and then all three as one as well. So yeah, we had, I again connected with people via Facebook, and I said, how do you get into additional retailers? And a lot of them actually hired what we call retail strategists to help them. So we did bring on a retail strategist, and in short, it's a person that has the contacts, and then you have to help them sell. And so that's what we did. So we are in Bye Bye Baby, QVC, and HSN right now.
And then also some of the local places around Wake Forest, you have some bags around. Sorry, what's the place?
Oh yeah.
We have bags at Lily Mays, and then and Lily Mays is honestly, Tiffany has been a big help to me personally, and I know she loves to help other people in general, whether it's the people that work for her or her customers. And so I really love partnering with them. So they are the main local one here in Wake Forest. And then there's some baby boutiques in Raleigh as well. So in one will be opening, but they have unfortunately had to delay their opening due to COVID.
Maybe it'll be good for us to reach out to some of those people too. We can
Absolutely. Yeah. Something I've always admired about you and your business is the fact that you guys are so supportive of other small businesses. I think it would be very easy for any entrepreneur to kind of want to not share either information or to be as open about saying you need to go see this person for this product or this service, but you are really open about being supportive of everybody in the community, and I think it's extremely valuable.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point. I was actually shocked at how willing the local community and the business owners were to helping me. Leanne Stewart from Stewart's Bistro has also been a huge help to me. She's even let us use her location to do filming and do pictures for our bags. And it's simple things like that. The owners of Royale down in Raleigh let us shoot videos and photos at no charge. Really, and I was already spreading the word about them because their food's amazing. But this is kind of like, if I didn't ask, then how would I have known? And I was shocked and blown away. And then I would say the biggest help is the business that we partner with on an actual business level is Ship on Site in Wake Forest. And the owner of that, Kathy, has been a huge mentor to me. She is so business savvy, and she is always kind of thinking ahead. And I love that about her. I think sometimes I get so stuck in the day-to-day of what I'm trying to do here. And, to your point, trying to manage a 9-to-5 and a mom and a wife. I feel like she dedicates that time to look ahead. And so she always shares things with me as well. And they do all the fulfillment and shipping and inspection of all of our bags. So they've been a huge help to me, because I would never have been able to do that part. Like a lot of small business starting out do their shipping. I could not have done that with everything else on my plate. So they've been a huge help, and I love that I'm helping their business too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're gonna, actually, before, we see a bag in the background. do you want to show that to anybody, just to show like what one of your bags looks like?
So this is actually our most popular, and this is the City Explorer and Vintage Tan. And actually it's packed right now with a lot of baby stuff. I just did a video about this.
That's awesome.
Tons of pockets on the inside, but again, transitional features like a laptop pocket in the back here. And this bag is number one, our most popular, but it's also the one that a lot of people without children buy too. I've taken this overseas quite a few times on personal and business travel, and even fully packed to the brim, it still fits under the seat. So then that's, one of those features I was talking about that was important, to me, knowing that if I'm going to spend money on a bag that I want to buy once and want to buy well, and I want it to transition. So
I think one of the biggest things that people get frustrated with bags, and I don't know if this is as big of a deal for guys, are when straps are too skinny, because as you know, babies come with a lot of stuff, especially when they're newborns. And you mentioned the laptop pocket and the fact that you are trying to multitask being a mom, and if you're still in your career, or even if you just want to take your laptop and social media stuff with you to a play date or whatever, but your straps are very supportive of the life that's being carried in the bag. And I think that that's really valuable for a mom, not having to pick and choose what she has to leave out because she knows she's going to hurt her back or like her shoulders in the process because the bag's not going to be supportive. And then I would also say for guys, the bags are pretty complimentary, I think, to both genders and stuff.
Yeah, they're sharp. I don't mind carrying that thing around at all.
That's true, because as a first-time mom, you don't have a lot of free time. You don't want to have two bags, because inevitably the one thing that you need is going to be in the other bag, or you're going to have forgotten to restock the diapers in the one bag that you take or whatever. So I think that it's very applicable to living everyday life, and that is just super important.
Yeah, I think one thing that I can say about it is I'm all about convenience and like efficiency. Even with a bag like this, it's got everything's thought out about. I'm sure it took a lot of iterations to get where it's at, so it's probably come a long way. But it's perfect for like nothing is all against each other. It's separated and it's easy to use. So the functionality is awesome on it too.
You all, I mean, are you ready to like hit the road and start selling my bag? Because
let's go. Let's do
you
it.
are perfect. You just hit on a lot of the real life challenges that I faced and why I've incorporated a lot into the bag. So I'm glad that it's shown through and that you all have been able to see it too.
Absolutely. As potential third-time parents, we have definitely run the gamut on the needs and wants. And I know recently we've had quite a few friends who've become first-time parents and asking us about what they need. And I'm like, you don't need as much as you think, and you need one place to be able to keep the essentials.
Yeah. And then we send the link to City.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, it's been, we spent a lot of time kind of going over some of the business and everything. We have a few questions to end up on that are just the fun ones, and then we'll have a wrap up and what we've talked about today.
Sure.
Typically, we ask a book or a Netflix recommendation. We already hit on Tiger King. It's probably something.
All the way.
In every interview that we have.
That's why I want to pivot. And I know I'm not going to throw this on you, but you guys travel a lot. So just you have for business and as a family. Tell us what's like one of your favorite places you've been to that you'd recommend.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Or just one of them. It doesn't have to be your favorite.
Yeah. No. I think that's a great question. Yeah, I will say that. We really, over the past couple of years, took a focus on having less things and traveling more, because we really found a lot of just passion around that. So I will kind of group it this way. My favorite place to go with Todd when we just need to get away and there's no expectations, we just want to chill, is a place called Pelican Hill. And that's in Newport Beach, California. And if you go somewhat off season, it actually is reasonable, but it is because they have amazing service. Now, obviously it's beautiful and the views are great, but I was actually there and I was still pumping and for my second child, and I called them and I said, where's a convenience store so I can get some dish soap to wash everything? And they said, hang on, we'll call you back. And then 5 minutes later, they had Dawn dish soap delivered to me at no extra charge. So it's that kind of place. So if you are an overworked mom and dad and need a place to just reconnect, I love that. from a let's go have fun perspective, and even with kids, Barcelona was really cool because it was kid friendly. It was also had a lot of balance between historical and fun things to do. So we had a lot of fun there. And then Italy is, I think, always an awesome choice if you're looking for something for adults. And gosh, I can't even choose between northern or southern Italy because they're both so different and so cool.
We're gonna, I mean, we will put like all your social media stuff with City Collective in it, but I think we're also gonna put your personal one because you have awesome pictures and you get that way too.
Hey, I will tell you actually another thing. I don't want to say I got into TikTok, but yeah, you're gonna see some good TikTok videos now too.
Well, we may need your help because that's actually one thing we're gonna do. Even though I've said I will never get one, I've changed my mind.
Yeah, I think after that, I think after all this passes and we're back to normal life, that I probably will delete TikTok. But right now, it's just so satisfying.
That's funny.
All the things people said they would never do, and then this happened. So, so I know that, again, we've talked about some of your favorite local restaurants, but is there anyone that you haven't mentioned? I know you've dropped a few names of some local places.
Yeah, I mean, if we, there's so many.
Yeah.
I love Wake Forest because it's growing and there's a lot of cool places coming in. And I will say that was our biggest challenge coming from Washington, D.C. to here was we lost a lot of like really good restaurants and we weren't able to kind of just walk around the corner and there'll be, 15 options for a certain type of food, right? But Wake Forest is really starting to come up and I love that. So some of the places that are relatively new that I love are Bodega. Love Bodega. I love that you can try a little bit of everything and share it. That's, I think, the best way to experience a new restaurant. I mentioned Stewart's Bistro. Again, just really, to me, is like a diner kind of mixed with modern coffee shop. So it's really cool how they've done it, both of them. We also love Black and White Coffee. So they have some amazing coffee. And then they also opened a location in Rollsville, which has amazing food with it. And also we do know the owners and we're friends with the owners of First Watch. So there's something about, I guess, brunch food that we really, really love. But yeah, there's just so many good little places here. I will say too, the one thing that I love to do with the boys when we're trying to get out, but want to spend time with them, but still have a good experience food wise, is to go to Norse Brewery. I really enjoy that too, and they're pretty new.
Must be reading our list of like Wake Forest places.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Well, we heard you say coffee a few times.
Yeah, so I gotta ask how you take your coffee. I mean, obviously very important to me.
Laura, I did like you take your coffee anyway. I think you always, always have a cup in your hand. I don't know how you're always so like calm and collected, but
Yeah, no, Maria.
I love it. Thank you. No, I'm an espresso person. So I love my lattes in the morning and I love just shots of espresso in the afternoon, and I try not to overdo it, but.
Awesome. So we're going to connect all social media accounts to this interview afterwards, but where can people find you? Where are you at? What platforms?
Yeah, so on all platforms for Citi Collective, whether it's Pinterest, Facebook, or Instagram, you just search for Citi, CITI Collective, and that is our handle as well. So it would just be at CITI Collective. And then for my personal, if you want to follow along with my TikTok videos, it's just go to Instagram or TikTok. They're both the same, and it's This Life with Boys. So a little long, but yeah, it's This Life Boys. So I'm happy to let you in on some of the craziness that goes on in the day-to-day.
That's awesome. Well, we've enjoyed kind of talking about everything today. There's so much more that we could kind of go into and go in depth. We only touched on it. So I really hope that people listen to this and go to the websites and spread the word and everything. Is there anything that we left out that you wanted to touch on before?
I just wanted to wrap up with two things, and that's number one, Laura, to your point earlier, I am not a hoarder of information. So if anybody local wants to sit down and have coffee and just talk through anything, 100% open to that, and I will be happy to freely share any type of advice or learnings or failures. Happy to do that. And then second of all, I just wanted to share what a big inspiration both of you all are. You know, I mentioned a lot of people that have influenced me, but really seeing what you all are doing and how important it is to you to connect with the community, and also just knowing you personally as friends and the small things that you do that are so thoughtful, it really goes a long way. So I'm so happy that and honored that you wanted to speak with me today.
Oh, well, thanks so much. No, that's awesome. We appreciate that wholeheartedly. So to wrap up a few things I think that we kind of touched on, Maria says take action, which everybody should be able to. Engage and connect. So if you're looking to get into starting your own business, look, Maria already offered that she's, if you're looking at this part, go pick her brain. 99% of people won't take that step and they won't get anywhere because of that part. So that 1% out there that listens to this, do it, reach out to her. She definitely will talk with you. And then as far as the family balance, you have to leverage your family self-care on that part and everything. And it's just all good information. So again, this was Maria Lechner. She's with CITI Collective. We are so grateful to have you on today. It's a great conversation and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.